Here's the first video for the Chapter 5 notes over polynomial functions, polynomials and polynomial functions. We've already done some of the stuff in this chapter over the course of the first semester, but we're going to reiterate a few things and then move into some things that we have not done before. So starting off for the first video here, we'll cover the degree of a polynomial and how to tell how many terms it has, as well as how to classify a polynomial by the number of terms. So first up, some vocabulary that students should already know. A polynomial is an algebraic expression consisting of the sum or difference of monomial terms. In other words, we are going to be adding or subtracting monomials to create polynomials. A monomial then is a number, a variable, or an expression which is the product, meaning multiplication answer, where we have numbers and variables multiplied together. The one key there is that the exponents on those terms must be integers. Okay? We can't have, or it must be positive integers. We can't have negative exponents. We cannot have fractional exponents. So some examples. First of all, any number, such as 2, that would be a monomial. Any variable, like x, or even a variable to a power, those would all be examples of monomials. You could have any number with a variable to a power. In fact, it doesn't matter how ugly that number is or how many variables it has, as long as they are being multiplied together. All of these are examples of monomials. Notice it's the product of numbers and variables. Okay, so polynomials are named based on the number of monomial terms that they have. And this should not be new information either, as it is covered in Algebra 1. We should remember from Algebra 1 that several different number of terms have special names. Okay? A polynomial with one monomial term is a monomial. We have several examples of that on the previous page, so we'll just give one here as an example. If we have two terms, that is a binomial. And even though they can be more complex, I will give an example of one that we've already seen this year when we factored. X squared minus 9, which is in fact a difference of two squares and would factor into two binomial factors. If we have three terms, that is known as a trinomial. And again, I will give an example from earlier in this year where we had factoring. This is a trinomial. It has three terms, x squared, negative 7x, and positive 12. Now, if we have more than three terms, we don't have a special name for that. So 4 terms, 5 terms, 6 terms, etc. Those are all just known as polynomials. And for instance, we could have something along the lines of that, which has 4 terms. So monomial, binomial, trinomial, polynomial. Now, next idea here, and this might be new, but it really shouldn't be new. You should have seen this in Algebra 1 as well, but in case you didn't, polynomials are classified by their degree. Degree is the sum of the exponents of a monomial. So if you're asked to find the degree of a monomial, all you do is add the exponents. So on number 1, we have an x cubed and a y cubed. So the degree would be 3 plus 3, or degree 6. If there's only one exponent, such as number 2, that makes it even easier because that exponent is the degree. So that is degree 5. Same thing on number 3 here. We're only looking at the exponent, so the degree would be 5. And then finally on number 4, don't get confused. We're still only adding the exponents, so the degree would be 2 plus 7, or 9. Hopefully that makes sense. Now, if we go from there to talking about the degree of a polynomial, the degree of the polynomial is equal to its highest degree monomial term. So if we're asked to find the degree of each polynomial, what we would do is go in and find the degree of each monomial. In this case, this one is degree 2 because it's got an exponent of 2. This one is degree 1 because it's got an exponent of 1. And this number has a degree of 0, which means the degree of the polynomial, which again is equal to the highest degree term. You just ask yourself which one of these numbers is the largest, and the answer to that is 2. So that is a second degree polynomial, or a quadratic. So it doesn't matter how complex our polynomial is, we should still be able to recognize how many terms it has. Number 2 has 4 terms. And then go in and add up the exponents. 2 plus 1 is a degree 3 for the first term. 1 plus 2 is a degree 3 for the second term. 2 plus 2 is degree 4 for the third term. And the last term only has one variable, so its degree is the exponent 2. So the degree of this polynomial would be equal to the largest of those 4 numbers, which would be degree 4. Do a couple more examples just to be sure. Number 3 is a binomial. There are 2 terms. The first term is degree 3. The second degree is degree 0. So the degree of the polynomial overall is degree 3, which makes it a cubic equation. And we'll do more of that vocab in a later lesson. Number 4 is a trinomial. It has 3 terms. The first term is degree 4, 3 plus 1. The second term is degree 5, 3 plus 2. And the last is degree 7, 4 plus 3. So the degree of the overall polynomial would be the largest of those numbers, or 7. That does it for the first video in the series over degree and number of terms.